All right, it's almost August here in Iowa, and that means it's time to get the fall plots in the ground. And one of my favorites that I've used over the years is the Big N Beasty blend. I like it for a number of reasons. One, the deer like it, so obviously that makes it a great choice. But two, it's very easy to plant, and you can plant in a variety of spots and situations. This particular area that I'm standing in, I just planted this to Big N Beasty 2 days ago. And I kind of got to walk through the steps and what makes it easy to plant and why I've had good success with it over the years. This plot was, this is a brand new spot that I've never planted before. It was just a bunch of real tall grass. We got a really good kill when we sprayed it, but there's just a little bit too much thatch, dead thatch on top, that I wanted to actually burn it off with fire before I tilled it. And it worked really well. It burned really easily and tilled nice, and we got everything seeded and had a very timely rain about 4 or 5 hours after planting, so everything was perfect. But in regards to planting Big N Beasty, you don't always have to have equipment to till everything. I was fortunate enough to borrow the tractor from the landowner, and I went and rented the tiller from a local equipment rental store. So I had the equipment necessary to till, but you don't have to do that. I'm actually going to go, I'll show you guys a plot that I'm doing today where I'm just seeding over the top of dead thatch, and that dead thatch actually will help hold some of the moisture in. Whereas if you're working the soil like this, you're getting rid of some of that moisture, and you're making it more prone to drying out quicker. But luckily we got that timely rain that I mentioned. So there's different varieties or different ways you can plant the Big N Beasty where it will do well depending on the area, depending on how much equipment you have, that type of stuff. There's just a couple key things. One, you want to make sure you don't overseed the Big N Beasty. The proper rate for Big N Beasty is 4 pounds an acre. This was a half-acre spot, so obviously we used 2 pounds. The only time you want to go maybe a little bit heavier on the rate is in that situation that I was just referring to, where you are overseeding onto a bunch of dead grass or something where you may not get as high of a germination rate. In that case, you can go a little bit higher on the seeding. I'm definitely excited about this spot. We'll show you the steps we took to get it all planted. In the meantime, we're gonna head over to another area where I'm gonna broadcast some Big N Beasty seed today. Normally you don't have to worry about burning. In fact, sometimes you do more damage by burning and regenerating a bunch of weeds, but with this being a first-year plot, there's just so much thatch on the ground, and so it's okay to burn it because I'm following up with the tiller today. So whatever weeds would have been regenerated, I'd be regenerating them anyway with the tiller. So I'm just gonna till really light, but burning this dead thatch off will definitely make it easier to till, make it a lot cleaner. So this is a spot that I just sprayed, and actually there's a lot less dead thatch than I anticipated, so it's probably not going to do as good of a job holding in the moisture. But regardless, this is a spot that I didn't till, didn't use equipment. I just sprayed, let everything die, and I'm going to broadcast the seed on top and let the rain do the work of getting that seed down in the soil. It's not a very big area, but it's right next to some other food sources, so it'll be a really good spot to have some Big N Beasty. In general, like I said, I really like this for a fall food plot. I've had just really good success with it. It's so easy to grow, and I've had some great hunts with it over the years. One really nice thing about it is you get that early attraction. The deer really hit the green tops of these brassicas, and then later, once it gets colder, they start digging up for those bulbs. So it's a all season long food source, and it provides a lot of forage in a small area. So even when we're talking something like this, which this is probably a 1/4 acre and that other one was 1/2 acre, I mean, there's no way you could get away with planting something like soybeans in that small of a spot. This Big N Beasty provides so much tonnage that you can get it by the deer. The deer aren't going to overbrowse it, and it's going to provide enough food to get all the way through the entire hunting season, no matter where you're at. So just all around easy to grow, great food plot option. I'm gonna get this seeded and then hope for some more rain.